song, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Honestly, definitely one of the best songs I've heard you put out so far.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah. For the people watching right now, like, let them know who you are.
Man, I'm Pluto. I created Pluto after rebirthing myself. And it was funny how it happened. Like, I had gone through a bunch of stage names, not ones I'm proud of. But I was sitting there and one day I was like, okay, how do I feel when I'm making music? Where do I go, or what's going through me? And I'm like, I'm not here on this planet, right? I feel like I'm in a different atmosphere or just somewhere else in a different realm. So I was like, okay, maybe outer space. All right, what's something catchy that everybody can remember or that everybody would know? It's not super foreign, but catchy enough to be like, okay, I'm interested in that. And I started thinking, I was like, you know what, let's go with Pluto. And I researched it a little bit more. A lot of detail to it as far as the past goes with Rome and Greece. As far as when Rome took over everything, they blended their cultures and their gods also blended. And Pluto is basically like the god of the underworld, but at the same time, in its name, it means rebirth. And I found myself in that name. So got it, stuck with it, and then everyone that was like cool with me at the time was like, why don't you be a little bit more original and add something else to it? And I was like, okay. So I added my last name. And here's Pluto. Pluto is from plutonium.
Like, what made you want to work on this album and not just release singles?
So before this, I was signed to a local label, and their advice to me was to really push singles, but I feel like for what I was going through, the journey that I was going through in life, I didn't want to just put out single songs because I feel like I needed to tell a story. And COVID hit and everything, and I decided, well, I went a different route, no longer with the label, and I was working on the album at that time, and I actually jumped into therapy. I got into therapy. I hit a really bad low in life and decided to work on myself and change myself. And to be honest, everything was in a shitty place. I wasn't able to make music because I wasn't making enough income. My mind wasn't mentally set. So I went through the healing that I needed to go through. And in the midst of all of it, going through my therapy, which I did about 2 years of just very high intense therapy, I started telling a story, and I started feeling better, and I started feeling like something was telling me, hey, you gotta make this and put it out now. Like, talk about what you've gone through as I'm going through it at the same time, so that it's real, and that way I don't forget. So I was like, I'm not gonna just drop singles, I'm gonna make an entire project because I know this is gonna form into something. So yeah. The album has a very concrete concept to it, to where basically I'm on Earth. I am Pluto. I've forgotten where I'm from though. Forgot who I am, what I'm made of, my roots, everything, because I've been on Earth for so long that it has pretty much been erased from me. And one day I get a transmission from plutonium, and well, not knowing it's from plutonium, I just think it's from a mission at that time. And the videos will explain a lot more. But basically, I think that I'm getting ready to go on this mission. And when I get to the place, the location where I'm supposed to go and board the ship, I actually end up ascending. Kind of how like in Endgame when everybody breaks up and pushes out into space and you become these particles. So I break up, and when I wake up, I'm on plutonium, I'm in this different outfit, and basically I'm there to remember who I am. And it's very much so based in like an anime setting, but it's fictional but realistic to my life. When I jumped into therapy, I thought I was there for this XY specific reasons, but it ended up being something else. I didn't know that I was there to be free as opposed to being healed. I didn't know the two went together at the time. I thought I was there for healing. Cool, I do my thing, I get out, handle whatever I need to handle, break whatever addiction I have. But I didn't know I was also breaking free, because I was conditioned in the way that I was raised as well. Definitely had this like shield over me, I feel like. So I was never really being me.
Yourself.
Yeah, and that's who Pluto is. Pluto is the person that I became when I finally said, I'm gonna be free and be who I am, and this is who I am. And that's what the album is about, is going back to Plutonia, remember who I am, coming back to Earth, and starting the next chapter of my life. Now that I am Pluto, where do I go from here, type of deal. So,
absolutely. Yeah. I wrote down a couple questions here. What is 111? What does that mean?
So very in tune with numbers, and just for everybody, I had to take these glasses off. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling it. I need y'all to see my eyes and everything. 111 for me in my life was a constant reoccurrence, and every time I saw it, once I opened up myself and allowed myself to believe in it, it let me know that I was on the right path. Like everything, I'll put it like this, when I stopped fighting against the current of life, things just came in front of me. They dropped in my lap. And every time I saw that number, when I would have a dismantling thought that maybe I was doubting what I was doing, and am I making the right call, and you know, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Anytime I got a small grain of doubt, that number would pop up. And that basically let me know, hey, you are surrounded, you are protected, but more importantly, you are on the right path. Trust it. Have we led you wrong this far? No. All right, deep breath, and let's keep moving forward.
How does that number actually correlate with the album, and what does it mean for the album?
Basically, I felt that because I saw the number so much, and because it resonated with everything that I went through in therapy, all the signs that were around me, it had to be the title of the album, because it was my divine hour. And that's what this is about. It's just when something comes into your life and you can't explain it other than the fact that it has to be greater than yourself. And that's what this is. Yeah, I wanted to create a sound that soothed people as well as had messages in it. And this album specifically, every song was devoted towards my mental health. There's so many people out there that do struggle with it, who won't come forward, and then, you know, they're part of the suicide case, or something else horrible happens. And I speak frequently about death and about my thoughts and just about how I felt, which for those who haven't heard it yet and who will be seeing this and listening to it, I do get dark in there, but I think that's okay. And the whole objective of this album was to let other people know you're not alone. Whatever your craziest thought is, someone else has probably thought it as well, or is thinking something even crazier. Whatever scares you, I'm scared of too, at the same time. So the album speaks heavily to my mental health, and I want others to pretty much take away from it, there is hope in it all. So I want people to feel positive after listening to it, and hopeful is what I would like to come from it.
Yeah, I like that, because when I listen to music, bro, it's like I only want to listen to the music that I feel like I resonate with. And I feel like if this album does what you want it to do, and it helps guide people through their heartbreak or through their trauma, I think this album would be very successful.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I want to happen. I want people to be able to relate. I want my music to be relatable. I think, yeah, that's the point I want to make there too. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, it's something that you feel very connected to, that is meaningful to you. So you want to listen to it. And I feel like often in our music industry, a lot of music doesn't have that anymore.
No.
It's just about pitchy things. Oh, what sounds really good on the radio, or what's gonna bop in the car. And it's sad to say that most people don't want to listen to a message, but wonder why their head and their feelings are empty. You know,
you don't know how many times I've like sat in somebody else's car and they are listening to some sort of like song or whatever, and I asked them like, "Damn, these lyrics really hit," and they're like, "I don't even listen to the lyrics. I just like it because it bumps."
Yep, the beat, which that's why every song that I went with, and I picked a lot of this up from Kanye, where he's so intelligent to know that different sounds have different effects on your chakras, right? So like the 808s, where he speaks about, he's like, it can make something pop within you that you unconsciously don't even know about. But you like the way that this music is going and your body moves and you feel something, but you can't explain it. But your spiritual side knows what it is. So yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. The beat is big, so that's why I did that. And then those who like the message, there's something there for you to hear.
Absolutely. Why is this album important to you?
It is my first ever album where we did everything from scratch. Me and my boy Strabs and a few other people that worked on it, Zenny. Everything came from what do you feel, what are you thinking, and then I wrote my own lyrics in that fashion as well. So it was really cool to be hands-on and to say this is Pluto's sound, as opposed to just taking a beat, you know, from a random engineer, producer, whatever, and then trying to write to it. Everything I wrote came from me. The way that it sounds was what I envisioned and what I heard. Every single component was hand touched. So I'm proud of it, but I'm also just happy to be putting a product out there that is my own sound.
What's your favorite song in that one?
My favorite song probably is the very last one, because of how soothing it actually is.
What song is that?
That is Dream States.
Okay.
So it's the last one on the album, and when you listen to it, you'll understand it's just so calming. And I worked really hard to make sure we had the right strings and composition and tempo, and it's just a really nice vibe. So that's probably my favorite one. Yeah.
Do you read books? What's the book that you're reading right now?
Yeah, so I just got done reading Will Smith's book. I love it. Will, if you are watching this, I would love to talk to you. Just anything. Like, I don't know you, but I feel like I know him now. You know what I'm saying? After reading his book, because he goes into such detail, and I know he got a little bit of criticism off of things, but you really have to read the book because it's not just one excerpt. Everything flows together. And I think Will is such an intelligent, in-tune person. I've taken a lot of my work ethic from him. So I would say that's the most recent one, and I recommend it. It's a life changer, I think.
Awesome. And who would you say, as an artist, who are your biggest influences with your work?
So Frank Ocean is number one. Frank Ocean, I love his stuff. I've always loved it. I think he's a lyrical genius in the way that he composes just his lyrics, and then his music on top of that is just so, it speaks to the soul, I think, if you're that type of individual. So definitely Frank Ocean. I feel like we gotta go with like some old school, so I'm gonna say Stevie Wonder. I love his vocal sets and his message as well. I think he does really well in that, and I've always just respected it. That's what I grew up with in my home with my grandmother. Outside of that, obviously, Michael Jackson has always inspired me.
Gotta go with the Michael Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like you can't talk about music and not talk about Michael Jackson.
Gotta go with the Prince of Pop.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say though, when I sit down to write music, I'm typically in the mindset of like Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, love his stuff. Kanye when it comes to composition because he puts so many little intricate details into his songs. And then Kid Cudi as well. I recently got into him not that long ago, and I'm like, man, mind blowing.
Yeah.
And he talks about mental health in there.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And then last question, and this is for the ladies. Are you single?